very much. Hope everybody can hear me clearly. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you are. Really honored to be invited to this amazing event at what I would consider to be the epicenter of blockchain in Africa, which is the beautiful city of Lagos. I'm sorry to not be there in person right now. I just left Lagos barely 6 days ago. So I really wish I could have been there with all of you, but thanks to innovation and technology, we are able to be here together and learn from each other. So I want to start by really appreciating all of you who have made it today to the event and all of those who are watching and participating virtually. Because not too long ago, this sector seemed to be the area of crazy and fringe people. And I say this as an innovator. In 1992, I came onto the internet before browsers. And it was a very scary place for quote unquote criminals and funny people and weird people. In 2009, while here in Toronto, I came across something called Bitcoin. And there were probably less than 100 of us at the time in the world looking at this technology. And at the same time, it was considered something fringe, scary, and for use by criminals. And today, I'm so happy to see that I'm not the only crazy person. In 2011, I sat with a few friends here in Toronto. One of them is a young man called Vitalik Buterin. And it led to the creation of something called Ethereum. So I've been fortunate to be at the forefront of innovation and technology. But the interest in this technology wasn't simply about how do I make money? How do I buy low and sell high? How do I get my Lamborghini and drive to the moon, so to speak? It was about leveraging this technology for human transformation, for creating value, for empowerment. And being an African, I consistently thought about how this could be leveraged to transform our economies that have been trying to emerge since independence. And ultimately realized that we were given two gifts in our lifetime. The first gift was the internet, and the second gift is blockchain. With these two gifts, anybody with access to the internet has the potential to transform his or herself, and any organization that leverages these two technologies can also transform themselves and not only remain localized, but become global. And this technology, while it promises a lot of freedom, that freedom comes with responsibility. You don't simply build for the sake of building, you build with purpose. And we are shifting from simply being service providers to becoming value providers. We are building an internet of trust because blockchain is a trustless system. I don't need to trust you to use it. The encryption and cryptography guarantee that trust, so to speak. So when I look at the world we are living in, and I often say that we live in exponential times, or we are living in exponential times. We are living in the era of the fourth industrial revolution. We've missed the boat in the first three revolutions. As Africans, we cannot afford to miss the boat in the fourth industrial revolution. Today, the median age in Africa is somewhere between 18 and 20. While we are the oldest continent, we have the youngest populations and demographics. And this presents a number of challenges, but more important, opportunities. By 2050, Africa's population will be 2.5 billion people. It is estimated that half of humanity at that point will be African, as Western and Asian populations age. We see power shifts from the West towards Asia, and it is said that the next destination is going to be Africa. How does Africa prepare itself and its youth for this next era that is coming? So I talk about these two gifts, internet and blockchain, and how do we use it to transform our societies? How do we go from being purely consumers, which we are today for the most part, to becoming producers and co-creators in this new space? I often say that Africa will not be transformed by politics or economics. We've tried that. Where I see transformation occurring is through technology and entertainment. Nigeria is leading the world right now through Nollywood. We are getting Burna Boy winning Grammys and other things that are redefining our images globally. But we must still do more with technology. And when I say do more with technology, apply it for impact. Sure, we can trade, we can invest with blockchain, but how about transforming our natural resources so we can export value? We can transform locally. You know, when I came to Lagos recently, we had a hangout at the Civic Center for my organization, and I was shocked and quite pleasantly amazed that this T-shirt I'm wearing was actually made locally. Everything. They simply had the fabric and it was transformed and created. Typically, you import the T-shirt and you print. But I realized everything was made locally and I was so proud. And what does that mean? Africa has talent. Its youth are its greatest potential. And as we look at this population explosion that we are going to face, we can no longer afford to do things the same way. We can no longer have centralized systems. We need systems that allow each and every person who is willing to work hard to achieve their purpose, to achieve their objectives in a free manner. Now, a lot of people tell me, but this technology is so complicated, and is it really for us who did not study computer science or engineering? And I said, no. This technology, computer science, engineering, is just one aspect, one facet. Blockchain is about governance. There's politics, there's economics, there's law, there's sociology, there's anthropology. All of these aspects come into it, which means that each and every one of you here today is a contributor to the success and growth of this incredible ecosystem. And at the same time, as the world continues to shift, we must remember that when these opportunities come, there is a time to take advantage of them. And that timing is now. Because if we do not build locally, and I talk now about Africa as a continent, with Nigeria leading, others will come and take over. Each time I visit our continent, I visit Nigeria, you find a lot of investors coming in. Many of us are eager to leave, go to Canada, go to America, because of all the quote-unquote difficulties we face. But who do we expect to solve our problems? Who do we expect to address our issues? We understand them more than anybody else. And that's why I continue to praise and support those who return to the continent or those who have stayed on the continent and are building to transform. Because we must move from being consumers to becoming producers. Last year, we were hit by something called COVID-19. And this COVID-19 has changed our world forever. The way we travel, the way we interact, and the way we build solutions. Who could have imagined that we'd all be wearing masks in this heat in Lagos? Or having to change the way we operate. Many offices now are empty. And we were not ready for that. Out here in the West, in Canada and other countries, governments were giving out money to their citizens, about $2,000 every month to stay at home. I watched with dismay as people struggled for palliatives in Nigeria. I watched how our governments struggled to cope with the COVID. And it doesn't end there. The West is moving towards what is called universal basic income, where they have to now continue to support their citizens by giving them money to stay at home. A few days ago, the famous Elon Musk presented a robot that is going to do the boring jobs, in quotes, for people. And these robots are going to transform societies. And if people are not leveraging technology like blockchain and the internet to really become producers and co-creators, you would find yourself in a very difficult situation. And for us in Africa especially, our youth that are hungry, desperate, frustrated, they need to be able to leverage these technologies for themselves. We have heard about the e-Naira coming up on the 1st of October. We are very excited about this and always about Nigeria leading the charge as Africa's largest economy. And what we are doing in Nigeria will hopefully set the tone for the rest of Africa. It is important that everybody is carried along in this journey. This is not a journey for technology people alone. This is a journey for all of us. And as I started at the beginning, it's about creating value. And that is what led to Bantu, the Bantu Blockchain Foundation and the Bantu infrastructure that we started working on 3 years ago, because we saw all of these innovations around the world. And like tools, tools have a purpose. If you're a mechanic, you have different types of spanners, or a plumber. So you use specific tools for specific things. And in most cases, many of these tools serve specific markets. In Africa, most people cannot mine. In Africa, most people don't have access to internet, even basic necessities. However, we felt that as people who understood the continent, we needed to build something. And that led to the birth of the Bantu blockchain, which is an Africa-led blockchain infrastructure for the world. And this has become an ecosystem that allows anyone to come onto it, issue their own token or assets. But the value is determined by what it is backed by. It is not Shiba Inu, it is not Doge. You need to create things of value. Tokenizing real estate, commodities, natural resources, even your time, if you're a medical doctor or professional, it can be tokenized and leveraged on our platform. Transaction fees are extremely low. You can perform tens of thousands of transactions for a kobo. And this is very important for financial inclusion. We talk about it a lot, but what are the practical use cases? This is what we've tried to achieve. And this foundation is led by some of the greatest minds from Africa. And we are advised by amazing industry leaders who believe in this mission that we are the solution to our own problems. And this is a journey. And we encourage each and every one of you to reach out to our team members who are on the ground physically at this time. You can see them wearing our t-shirts. And that t-shirt has a very interesting symbol. Looks like the Wakanda symbol. It's actually an ancient Adinkra symbol, which means independence, freedom, and empowerment. It is not just a fancy logo. It has meaning. And Bantu, the word, for those who know their history, means people or humanity. So when you combine both Bantu and that symbol, it means empowering humanity, independence, freedom. So I want to thank all of you once again for really supporting what our hosts, the Blockchain Nigeria User Group, have been doing, Chuta and the amazing team. I continue to encourage you to support this space. We are here to support all of you. We are super excited and proud of where the continent is going. And we believe that in the not too distant future, Africa is going to be leading on so many fronts. And that all depends on all of us working together. So thank you once again for the opportunity. And I apologize once again for not being there in person. But I do hope that if anything is carried away today from this meeting, is we all have a shared purpose to developing our continent and transforming it. It is easy to complain. However, it is harder to find a solution. But together, working together, we can find solutions to our lasting problems and ultimately elevate our continent and be very proud of it tomorrow. So thank you very much and enjoy the rest of the event.
All right.